Everyone, please say 3 times together. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Once again, let me greet everyone a very good evening. On this spiritual evening, too, I would like to sincerely wish that may you be able to practice very, very well. And at the same time, may you feel at least a little bit of peace and happiness within. May you develop in the Dhamma practice further. Dear Dhamma friends, now the old students, they are continuing with the third step of breathing meditation. So, can I see the students who practice the third step? Right. So, when you are practicing third step, I instructed to observe the touch of the breath. So, touch of the breath within the small triangular area below the nostrils and above the upper lip, right? So, not only you are supposed to observe the touch of the breath, right? Within that small triangular area, when you observe in that particular place, you will start feeling various kinds of sensations too, right? Various kinds of sensations. Sometimes you will feel like throbbing sensation, right? So sometimes you will feel the itching sensation. So when you feel the itching sensation, don't go to itch. So let it be and just observe. You will see many sensations arise and pass away, even within this very small triangular area, right? Sometimes you will experience itching sensation, throbbing sensation, sometimes pulsing sensation, sometimes so heat, for sure heat, and coldness, right? Such kind of various sensations will start to feel. So don't go to react to them. Just keep on being aware, right? Sometimes you'll feel so much itchy, but still, so your practice is to observe, right? With the understanding that this will also pass away. So then you will see gradually you will start observing that there is a point where these sensations start. Then after that, it will stay for some time, right? They gradually reach their own peak. And after that, gradually they are passing up. Then you will realize this is just like your own life. Incidents in your life. Same thing is happening, right? So sometimes things happen in life, right? So they have a start, and then there is a peak, and after the peak, then gradually dissolves. So they will teach you a life lesson too. Whatever it arises, it is bound to pass, right? So with that, developing that understanding too, please keep on observing the touch of the breath within this small triangular area. That is for the old students who are practicing the third step of breathing meditation. So if you are practicing the second step of breathing meditation, right? So observing, that means observing the touch of the breath within this big triangle area, right? So keep on practicing so. But after this week, all those students are also so requested to practice the third one, right? So only the beginners, they will be instructed to practice the first step, right? First step, because we don't have um, so a lot of time to start the vipassana meditation. So it is good if you can develop deeper concentration levels within. So deeper concentration within, so that you can easily observe the sensations all around the body, right? So so please, even the students who are practicing currently the second step, they are requested to practice the third one. Okay. So the beginners or who are joining today or who recently joined, they are requested, kindly requested to practice the first step. The first step is observing the normal and natural breath as it is. When the breath is coming in, stay fully aware. When the breath is going out, please stay fully aware. If it is long, be aware that it is long. If it is short, be aware that it is short. And if it is gross, if it is soft, let it be so. Just keep on being aware and develop your focus, right? Develop your attention, and then develop your concentration on that, right? And later on, gradually after so 4 or 5 weeks, you can also move to the second step or the third step of breathing meditation according to your convenience, right? For the other students who are attending the sessions, so for several months, they are kindly requested to practice the third step of breathing meditation starting from next week, right? So so please do like that. And at the same time, uh, so I hope you might be practicing the mindfulness habit, right? Can you remember about the mindfulness habit, right? So I asked you to pick, Nasik, can you remember? I asked you to select one daily activity that you do every day. And during that time, we have to be aware throughout that process. You have to be aware about that practice. Let's say you are eating, you have to be fully aware from the starting point to the ending point of your eating. From the time that you prepare that you take your plate to eat, to the time that you wash your plate, right? Throughout the whole process, please be aware. If you select brushing, the process of brushing your teeth, so from the time that you touch your brush to the end, until you wash your brush, right? So throughout the whole process, please be aware. Try to stay aware. Try to be present, right? Throughout that particular action, right? That will help you. And at the same time, so if you don't have, if you couldn't concentrate well, then please take the help of your walking meditation. I taught you how to do the walking meditation, right? So if your mind is clumsy, right? If you feel like your mind is not calm now, and if you sit, you won't be able to focus, then please walk for about 5 minutes, right? Focusing on the movement of your legs. When you move your right leg forward, be aware, I'm moving my right leg forward. When you're moving your left leg forward, be aware, right now I'm moving my left leg forward. So like that, please keep on being aware about the movement of your legs. So please practice 5 minutes. So for about 5 minutes, please practice your walking meditation. And after that, please start your breathing meditation. That is only if your mind is clumsy, right? So if it is not calm, right? So sometimes things happen in life, right? At your workplace and at your home, in your personal life, sometimes things happen. So because of such kind of an incident, if you cannot focus, so on your practice, then this is what you have to do. Okay, right. Then today, before we start the meditation, I want to teach you another important thing in brief for your general life. So these things I teach not for any philosophical entertainment. You have to understand. These things we have to adapt. We have to adapt these things into your life, right? So that's why I gave you a journal. I don't know how many of you brought the journal, but I didn't give it to you to keep it at your home and pay respect. So at least please go through the YouTube video and write these things down. So they'll be very quick. So friendships are important when you are living, right? So they one in so Karnataka folklore so adage says even the husband and wife should be best friends, right? So I don't know how often it happens so, but however, that's what the folklore says. You know, but for a person to live a good life, friendship is important, right? So foolish people's friendships, they are just like just like the muddy pots, clay pots. When they are broken, you can't glue them back. They're gone. So good wise people. So when they have friendships in life, those friendships are just like golden pots. Even though they are broken, you can glue them back, right? So uh, so having a good friendship is just like having a golden pot in your life, a very important thing. But maintaining friendships is a very important thing. It's very hard. I know one lady. She is one of the in Santa Clara. She is in this Santa Clara County. She is a very powerful person. I don't want to mention her name. So she is a very powerful person, especially in the court side. So then, but so, but the thing is, she doesn't have friends. She doesn't have friends, even though she make friends with someone. After 2-3 months, that's gone. They are not going to so keep the friendship with her again. So her friendships don't sustain. So because of that, she has a thinking about even this factor. So she is stressful. Right? So uh, it is not easy. You should have certain characteristics to safeguard them. There are 9, and here they are in brief. Right? If you have the book, all right, can you please give one to Miss Pramila? Yeah, one of them. So please write these things down. Number 1, being happy with what you have. I think, I didn't give it to Anubha. All right. Nasib, did I give you this one? I gave you, right? So you have to bring it. No two. You won't get two, right? So right. Number one, being happy with what you are given. So whenever someone gives you something, you have to be happy. At least this person is this much generous to me. It may be a needle, it may be a big thing, right? You have to be happy, right? That person thinks about you and gives you, right? And then not expecting too much, right? Sometimes people expect a lot of things from the friends. Then when those expectations are not met, friendship is gone. So you should not expect too much, right? Certain people give a very small thing and expect an ocean. Then those friendships won't last. Number three, please write these things down. Being generous, right? Being generous, that is also an important thing. You have to be generous. You should give things, gift things. Number four, gratitude. Even though if you so among friends, they should have the gratitude. Oh, during this difficult time, you were with me and you did this to me. You should have the gratitude. If you don't have the gratitude, that friendship won't last, right? Then after that, number five, working, thinking about the so distant future, not the close, not the closer future. One one king in India, his name was Digri Kosale. Before he was dying, he told his last advice to his son was, he had only one son. So it was, son, don't look closer, look at the distance, right? Look far. So that was his advice. So you have to act. Thinking about the distant future, not the closer future, right? Number six, not being hasty, right? Not being hasty. If you sometimes certain people, they practice carry tailing, right? So they stab at your back. They feel jealous when two people are friendly with each other. So what they do is they ask things from one person and goes to the other person and say it in a way so that the other person won't be friendly. But the other person will feel disgustful about the other friend. And then whatever the reply he gets, he goes back and reveal to the other person in a way that they can end their friendship. Those things happen. So you should not be hasty. Number seven, honesty. Honesty is also important. If you don't have honesty, friendship is gone. And number eight, so accepting your fault. So, Mr. Rina, so if we don't accept our fault, friendship is gone. Right? You should not be arrogant. You would accept if you did a wrong thing, right? And say sorry. Right? If you are arrogant and if you think you are the most perfect person in the world and you are perfect and you won't do anything bad, friendship is gone. And then not accepting the carry tailing, I mean, divisive speech. So if someone says something bad about your friend, you should not accept it at once, right? You have to investigate. These are the 9 things that you can use to maintain a good friendship. Okay. We don't have enough time. That's why I taught you these things in brief, but you have a long process. I taught it in brief, but you have a long process. You have to adapt this into your friendships and your life. Okay. Now we are going to start. Right. Why I teach these things is When you practice these kinds of practices, then your outer life is better and comfortable. You live a good, comfortable external life. So there are no much hardships, right? Because of that, because of that, then you will be able to live comfortably in the outside world, and you can bring that very peace to your meditation, and then you can develop in your practice. Finally, you will have a wonderful life, and you will develop in your meditation practice further and further and further, right? So please practice these things. As always, I mentioned, they are not for any philosophical entertainment. Okay, right. Now, please keep your back straight, neck straight, head straight. Please keep your right palm on your left palm. Close your eyes. As usual, I'm going to pay respect and gratitude towards the Buddha. And after that, we are going to start our silent meditation. Right, everyone, please concentrate. Namo tase bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhase. Namo tase bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhase. Namo tase bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhase. Itimiso bhagava arahang samma sambuddho viññācarana sampanno sungato lokamido anuttaro purisa dhamma sarati sattā deva manussanam buddho bhagavati swakato bhagavata dhammo sandittingo akaniko ehi passiko opanayiko paccattam veditabbo viñño hiti supanipanno bhagavato sāvaka sangho Ujupanipanno bhagavato sāvaka sangho Nyaya patipanno bhagavato sāvaka sangho Sami cipanipanno bhagavato sāvaka sangho Yadinang cattari purisa yugani Atte purisa puggala Esa bhagavato sāvaka sangho Ahuniyo pahuniyo Dakiniyo anjali karaniyo Anuttarang puñaketang lokasati. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Everyone, with a very calm mind, with a very quiet mind, with an alert, very attentive mind, with a balanced, very patient mind, very patient mind. Everyone, please start your meditation. If you are practicing the first step of breathing meditation, please do so. If you are practicing the second step of breathing meditation, please do so. If you are practicing the third step of breathing meditation, please do so. Whatever the step that you practice in breathing meditation, may your meditation be very, very successful. May you all be able to concentrate very well, very well. And may you feel peace, and may you feel inner happiness, inner happiness. Now everyone, please start your meditation. May your meditation be very, very successful. Now, please keep your eyes closed. But if you want to change your legs, the posture, you can change your posture. We are going to practice loving kindness meditation in brief right now. Now calm down. Let's share our loving kindness towards ourselves first. Please share your loving kindness with you. May I be well. May I be happy. May I be peaceful. May I be very peaceful. Please spread your loving kindness towards yourself first. Now, let's share our loving kindness with your dear parents, teachers, relatives, and friends. May my dear mother, may my dear father, may my dear teachers, relatives, and friends be well, be happy, be peaceful. May they be well, may they be happy, may they be very peaceful. Please spread your loving kindness towards your parents, teachers, relatives, and friends. Now, let's share our loving kindness with the neutral people, the people in the middle. May all the neutral people also be well, be happy, be peaceful. May they be very peaceful. Please spread your loving kindness towards the people who are not your friends or your enemies, the neutral people. Now, let's spread our loving kindness towards the enemies. First, please forgive them for the mistakes that they did and ask forgiveness for the mistakes that you did. And share your loving kindness with them. May my enemies also be well. May my enemies also be happy. May my enemies also be peaceful. May they be very peaceful. Now, let's spread our loving kindness towards all the beings in the world. We are going to think about human beings, animals, and birds, fish, visible beings, invisible beings, and all. May all beings be well. May all beings be happy. May all beings be peaceful. May all beings be very peaceful. Please spread your sincere, honest, loving kindness with all the beings in the world. Bhavatu sambe mangalam rakantu sambe devatam samme buddhanubhavin samme dhammanubhavin samme sanghanu sada sutti bhavantuti. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Now, everyone very calmly and peacefully, please open your eyes. Let your whole body to relax from bottom to top, top to bottom. Let your whole body to relax. Now please join your palms together and say 3 times. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Dear Dhamma friends, hope all the meditators continue your daily practice. So, we don't have a lot of time now. For the month of May, we only have 1 month left. That means for maybe 4 or 5 Fridays. Then after that, we will start Vipassana meditation. And it is the most important meditation technique among all the 3 techniques that we practice. It is practicing Vipassana is just like doing a surgery inside the mind. What you do is, so you develop wisdom within about the things so that you misunderstood before. Instead of misunderstanding, you develop understanding about the things as they actually are. Right? You start to see the things according to their real reality. Beyond that, there is no reality. Right? So then many things will change in your life. Whenever you gain those understandings, things start to change in your life. So that will start with the Vipassana meditation. So please keep on practicing. So during this month, without letting the days pass by without doing the meditation, please make sure that you do somehow find time and practice meditation every day, and make sure that you sit at least for 2 times. If you can do extra, I really appreciate. Right? Then, so the more concentration that you develop, then the more you gain the ability to see your body and mind, right? And to see, to understand about yourself, right? So please keep on practicing it every day. And nowadays, during these days, I was teaching you about the 4 friends of meditation. I already taught you about the 4 enemies of meditation, right? So we started. With this to describe the 5 enemies. I started with addiction to sensual pleasure. Then after that, aversion, laziness, and then after that, Priya, can you remember? Dinesha, can you remember? Right. Doubt is the last one. Let me ask one. Right. So, yes, restlessness. Yes. Yeah. So that means the wandering mind. Right. Then after that, final one is Mr. Howard.
It is doubt.
Doubt. Very nice.
But you told us too.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Right.
I have them memorized.
Yes, very nice. So I really appreciate. So during this these 30 minutes, did you have all these? Did you encounter all these 5 enemies? Yes, right. Throughout these 30 minutes, still you are fighting with them. You have to fight, but you have to win one day, right? Continuity should be there. That's why I ask you to practice every day. That's very important. And then after that, then I started teaching you about the four friends of meditation. So they will help. I told you that they'll help you to fight it out with the 5 enemies, and they'll help you to overcome. They'll help you to defeat the 5 enemies. Right? I started teaching 3 weeks ago, and first I taught Mr. Bhanu about environment. No, not the environment. Yeah, keeping everything clean. So that's an external aspect. Desire. That's number one. Nasik, were you here? Or you were here last time. So what is the second one? Yeah. You were not here last week? Oh, right. So then, yeah, second one, Sandrika. Yeah, you had to remember. Then how can you fight with the enemies? You don't have any weapon, no friends. Then second one is strong mind. Right? I told you last time how to develop a strong mind. Right? And this week I'm going to teach you about the third friend, effort. In those days language, Buddha's word is virya, effort. So effort is also needed. So first you should have the desire. If you don't have desire, we are not going to do anything, right? So Aishwarya, are we going to do anything without desire?
No, Bhante.
Yes, right. So we are not going to do anything without desire. Desire is essential. Then, even though we have the desire, if we don't develop the strong mind, then we are not going to do it too, right? So strong mind is needed. Even though we have the strong mind, Anubhav, we need the third friend, effort. We will have strong mind. Oh, I'll somehow do this one day. I'll do this one day. Like that, you will have a strong mind. But if you don't put effort, nothing will happen. So third friend is also needed, right? So then you had developed this third friend, effort. So we have to understand that effort is threefold. For the old student, I taught this for many times. Number one, we need to have the effort to start, right? So starting effort. And then number two, second kind of effort is the effort that we need to continue, right? So that is the second effort. Buddha's word is arambaka dhatu, starting effort, right? So, and then second effort, continuing effort, nikkama dhatu. And third one is, so effort that stays until you reach your final goal. That is parakkama dhatu. All these three kinds of efforts are essential to achieve anything in your life. Let it be a spiritual goal, let it be a material goal, you need those. So I know most of you are highly graduated, dense, very well educated, right? So we hardly have anyone here who don't have BA, right? So if you if you stopped your education when you were if you didn't start your education, you couldn't have reached that point, right? And then you started the education, but if you dropped out at the first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade, sixth grade, seventh grade, or after the high school, right? You might not have achieved this range, right? This point. You achieved all these kinds of degrees because you continued your effort. Not only you continued your effort, you continued it until you reach the final goal. So we have to have developed these three kinds of effort in life, right? It's not easy. It's not easy. Let me teach you a story incident which happened in Japan. So all students know, but so to remind you and to understand, so I would like to mention for Bantes in rural Japan, so urban Japan, they decided that they really want to practice. And they really want to practice until they attain Nibbana, the ultimate goal. I mean, the ultimate peace and ultimate happiness. So what they did, they decided that they will go to a forest monastery, and without talking, without interacting with each other, they will continue to practice. And finally, they will. So they only will speak when they reach their final goal. This was their discussion. So then all four of them, they went to the forest monastery, right? You know forest monastery, right? Forest monastery means, so in Asia, it's a monastery which is situated in the forest. They don't have much facilities. So staying there, you have to depend on whatever you get by your begging, right? You have your bowl, and early morning you only can eat once a day. That also should be you have to get it by walking from home to home and asking for food, right? So that's how the process, right? So they went to this forest monastery. First day went very well. Second day also went very well. Third day also went very well. But on the fourth day, in the evening, they were having the group meditation like this. All four Bantes, they were practicing meditation in the evening. And they asked one volunteer in the village so to come every evening and light those days they didn't have these kinds of electrical lights, so electricity. So they asked that devotee to come in the evening and light one candle. The devotee came early. Seeing all the Bantes meditating very peacefully, he also wanted to meditate. So he kept on meditating, and he was so well meditating so well up to the one that he forgot that it's already outside. It has already become dark. He was in meditation now. Then at that time, so one Bhante opened his eyes and found that the whole is completely dark, thick dark. They hardly saw each other. Then that Bhante saw the volunteer, and he has come, but he might have brought the fire, but he has not lit the candle yet. So he won't he couldn't help himself. So he couldn't help himself. So not to signal that devotee. So vocally, he prevented himself as much possible, but finally he decided he will just make a small vocal sound. So what he did was he made a vocal sound saying shh, right? When he made that vocal sound, so except the devotee, lay devotee, the Bante who was sitting close by, he heard that. He was furious. He told. So he couldn't so keep his mouth shut. He said, "See, you broke the mouth." Right. And then the third Bante also couldn't keep his mouth shut. He said, "Oh, both of you are so foolish, so foolish. Both of you talk right now." Right? Then the fourth Bante listened to all these calamities, which is ongoing around him. His head didn't shake. So it stayed still. His hand stayed still. His legs stayed still. But something did stay still. The mouth. He said, "I am the only Bante who never talked, who kept the silence." So that's how it is. You can determine, but continuing it until the end of your goal, that's hard. That's a big thing. So you have to work hard you have to maintain the effort until you reach the final goal, right? And then when for that you have to always think about the uh, value of your goal, right? Especially in meditation, you have to understand the value of your meditation, right? So each and every moment we are suffering from negativities, right? Throughout the life. From the birth up to now, we are suffering. Coming out of them and living the life peacefully and happily. So it is the best thing that someone can have in a life, right? So uh, so even though someone couldn't attain the enlightenment, but if a person could live the life peacefully and happily, at least for a second, that second is greater than thousands of minutes that you live with negativities, right? So that's why we need to practice meditation very ardently. So you have to convince it to yourself. No one can. So this is not something just like medication or something. So that can put inside you and ask you to do. So you have to persuade yourself. You have to encourage yourself. The teacher can only suggest and teach, right? You have to work hard. So that's how you maintain. So you think about the good sides, good side, good results that you can obtain by practicing meditation, for an example, meditation. And then you also think about the bad side. So the difficulties that you will have, thousands of countless difficulties that you will have in life if you don't practice meditation and have a good mind, right? When you think like that, then you gain the encouragement in your practice, right? No, even though the others say, "Oh, stop, stop, stop," you are not going to stop because you know the value. If you don't know the value, you are not going to it. So, right. Then, so then you have to put effort, but at the same time, you have to understand the limit of your effort. right? So you can't put your effort just like the Buddha, right? We have to understand that a, a, a person who walks on the road that person cannot compete with the car, right? You can run, but to a certain distance. After that, the car overtakes you, even though you run. So even though you run, so to catch the car, that's impossible. Its speed is high. So you have to understand your potential. So understanding that potential, being humble, and then so being humble about your potential, then gradually, continuously, you have to practice little by little. You know, even a pot gets filled by drops of water. It means so drop by drop, the drops will fall, and finally there'll be a day that the pot will get filled. Practice is the same. Daily you will practice. And every month, I don't know whether you check your progress in January, February, and now it's going to be March. So the progress of March. So I gave you a sheet, right? I asked you to mark everything and check at the end of every month how much you have progressed. So everything is given, and the teacher's thing is done. Your part is thing which is available, and you have to fulfill it all by yourself. No one else can do anything about it, right? So, uh, little by little, just like the pots get filled. So, by constant practice, according to your potential, you are going to develop in this practice, right? And when you so continuity, and the continuity is important, and at the same time exceeding your level, right? Exceeding your level, so that is also so not good, right? That means, so there is someone, I don't think that you can go to such kind of levels. I mean, there were certain Bantes and lay people in the past who practice day and night, right? But when you practice like that, the first thing you should understand the meditation technique, and the second thing is, so you have to go so with limits, right? You have to give some rest to your body too. But there were certain people in the past who practice so without giving any rest to the body, right? Then such kind of people, they are not going to succeed too, because the balance of mind is not, right? Let me give you an example. So there was a Bhante called Sona. This Bhante, he was a guitar player when he was a layperson, right? You know, guitar players. So in India we call them so in South Asia we call them Veena, but so I don't know any so English name to use for it. It's just like a guitar, right? So then he was a kind of guitar player, right? Do you know any word for Veena? Just Veena, right? Yeah. So so it's just like guitar, but it's a little bit big, okay? Right. So now he became monk. He wanted to become enlightened as fast as possible, right? So he went to a temple after becoming a monk, he went to the temple, and day and night he kept on practicing. So his teacher gave him to practice walking meditation first. So he kept on walking. In the morning, he kept on walking, doing the walking meditation. During the daytime, he was doing that. In the evening, also, he was doing it. He was doing it at night too, continuously. He had a lot of effort, but there was something missing, so that he couldn't develop develop his mind to a jhanic level, higher concentration level. What is that? The balance of mind. The balance of mind, right? So, so what happened? Finally, after 2-3 days, so his leg, his feet got injured, and so because of the ulcers, so it was the ulcers, they were bleeding, and on the walking path there was some blood, right? There was blood, and regardless of that, the Bhante Sona, he is practicing walking meditation, right? At that time, the other Bhante saw this and went to the Buddha and complained. Bhante Sona is extremely practicing walking meditation. Then the Buddha went to Bhante Sona and asked Bhante Sona, Bhante Sona, I heard that you were a guitar player, veena player when you were at home. Is that true? Yes, sir, I was a famous guitar player when I was a layman. Layman means a person who lives at home, just like you. Then the Buddha asked, Sona, what do you think? If the strings of the guitar are too tight, do you think it can produce a very good sound, a sweet sound? Then Bhante Sona said, oh no, sir. If the strings are too tight, they can't make a beautiful sound. Then the Buddha asked, Bhante Sona, if the strings are very loose, can the guitar again make a good sweet sound? Then Bhante Sona said, oh no, sir. Oh no, Buddha. It cannot make a sweet sound in that manner. Then if the strings of that guitar are not too tight and too loose, but if they are tightened to the level which is needed, can they produce a good sound, a sweet sound, nice sound? Then Bhante Sona said, yes, sir. Then the veena, the guitar, can produce very nice sounds, sweet sounds, beautiful sounds. Then Buddha said, practice is the same. So if you work, if you work without limits, without understanding your potential, then it breaks the balance of your mind. If you lazily practice, again, you won't improve. Understanding your potential, work continuously, right? Work continuously. So then finally, you will reach where you want, right? Bhante understood. Bhante Sona practiced according. He was diligent, he was a hard worker, but he worked without breaking the balance of mind. And finally, he reached his final goal, the real peace and real happiness. So, effort is important. So, but you have to understand the level of effort that you need to put. If you put too much, the balance is broken. If you put very less, the balance is broken again. So if you put the needed amount, then you will improve. You know, we make curries. We make curries and we put in various kinds of ingredients, right? And so, so if we put too much salt, then the curry goes wrong. Nobody can eat it. If you put too much chili, then again we can't eat the curry, right? If you put too much garlic and too much tamarind, we can't eat that curry. If we put everything, right? So if we put everything according to the level that it needs, then you will have a very nice, tasty curry. Meditation is the same. Effort is the same. Put each and every time the needed amount. If you put too much, balance is broken. If you put very less, if you are lazy, again the balance is broken, right? But somehow, effort should be put in your practice, and it will be a great friend to overcome the 5 enemies, defeat the 5 enemies, and attain the real peace, real happiness, Nibbana. So with effort, with that friend, keep working hard. Keep working hard. Now we are going to conclude. Everyone please think. All of us gathered here and practice this noble non-sectarian meditation technique together and accumulated a lot of positive energy. By the power of all this positive energy, please think that may all our troubles be away. May all the good things happen in our lives. May we be able to practice continuously, ardently, with patience. And finally, may all of us attain real peace, real happiness, purification of mind, Nibbana. With those thoughts, please join your palms together and concentrate. Abhivadana silise nichang vada pachaino Chattaro dhamma vadanti ayuvagno sukhang balang Ayurarogya sampatti Sagga sampatti me vache Ato nibbana sampatti Iminati samijjatu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. May you all be well. May you all be happy. May you all be very peaceful. Good night to everyone and take rest. So, all right. So, good night, Miss Dan.
Good night, Bhante. Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
so
Wish you
much.
well. Thank
Right.
you.
Aishwarya, good night.
Thank you, Bhante. Good night.
Good night. And Ramgar, good night.
Good night, Bhante. Today's
Good
class
night.
was very nice.
Right. Yes, me be happy. Mr. Venkat, good night.
Good night, Bhante.
Me be happy. So, then Christian, good night.
Plus one. Thank you so much.
Me be happy. And good night, Miss Liz. Miss Liz, good. All right. Neha Didi, good night.
Good night, Bhante. Thank you
Good
very,
night.
very much.
Pragati and Rahul, good night.
Good night, Bhante. Thank you so much.
Me be happy. Miss Rita and Mr. Howard, good night.
Good night.
Good night, Bhante. Send you
Good
our
night.
loving kindness.
And Sahana and Arjit, good night. Good night. And Miss Shireen, good night.
Good night, Bhante. Thank you so much.
Good night. And Miss Swadhyaka, good night.
Good night, Bhante. Thank you so much.
Good night. Me be happy. Good night, everyone.